Terence McKenna, a modern-day shaman, a wordsmith of the psychedelic experience. He captivated audiences with his theories on consciousness, evolution, and the cosmos. McKenna wasn't just a talker, he was a seeker, driven by a thirst for knowledge beyond the mundane. His tool of choice, psychedelics. McKenna believed these substances were more than just drugs. He saw them as keys, unlocking hidden dimensions of reality. His explorations led him to the Amazon rainforest. There, amidst the ancient trees and vibrant life, McKenna encountered the extraordinary. He drank ayahuasca with indigenous shamans. He confronted the depths of his own being, and he returned with a theory that would challenge our understanding of time itself. This theory, Time Wave Zero, became his legacy. A mathematical model intertwined with ancient wisdom and psychedelic insight, it promised to reveal the patterns of history and to predict the future of human consciousness. Time Wave Zero, a complex tapestry woven from the I Ching, an ancient Chinese divination system. McKenna believed he had found the key to its secrets, a way to decipher its hidden language. The I Ching, with its 64 hexagrams, became a map of time's ebb and flow. McKenna translated these hexagrams into a mathematical wave. This wave, he claimed, charted the ups and downs of novelty throughout history, but Time Wave Zero wasn't just about the past, it pointed towards a future event, a moment of singularity, a point where novelty would reach its peak. And that point, according to McKenna's calculations, was December 21st, 2012. The date echoed with ancient Mayan prophecies. It fueled imaginations and it sparked debate. The I Ching, an ancient oracle, a guidebook to the cosmos. For millennia it has whispered its wisdom to those who sought its counsel. Its 64 hexagrams, each a unique combination of yin and yang lines, represent the archetypal patterns of existence. Terence McKenna saw in the I Ching more than just a divination tool. He saw a blueprint of time itself. He believed that the I Ching's hexagrams, in their intricate relationships to one another, encoded the ebb and flow of novelty throughout history. This wasn't some random idea. McKenna delved deep. He studied the I Ching structure, its patterns, its hidden meanings. He spent years contemplating its wisdom, seeking to unlock its secrets, and then it hit him, a revelation born from psychedelic exploration and years of dedicated study. The I Ching wasn't just a static system, it was a dynamic map, a map of time's unfolding. Novelty, the engine of change, the spark of the unexpected. In McKenna's view, it was the driving force of the universe, but novelty wasn't constant. It ebbed and flowed. It danced with its opposite, habituation. Habituation, the comfort of the familiar, the tendency to fall into routine. It was the counterpoint to novelty's dynamism. Like yin and yang, these two forces were locked in an eternal embrace. McKenna believed that human history, indeed the entire history of the cosmos, could be understood as the interplay of these two forces. Periods of great upheaval and change, marked by breakthroughs in technology, art, and consciousness, were periods of high novelty. These were followed by periods of relative stability and stagnation, where the novel became routine and the pace of change slowed. This was the dance of existence, the rhythmic pulse of time itself. Section 3, The Time Wave, a Visual Symphony of Time. McKenna didn't just theorize about novelty and habituation, he wanted to quantify them. He wanted to see the patterns of time laid bare, To do this, he translated the I Ching's wisdom into a mathematical model, time wave zero. This wasn't your typical graph. Time wave zero was a visual symphony of time, a wave that fluctuated, peaked and troughed, reflecting the ebb and flow of novelty throughout history. The peaks of the wave represented periods of intense novelty. Think the Renaissance, the scientific revolution, the dawn of the Internet age. Each peak was a surge of creativity, a burst of innovation, a leap forward in human consciousness. The troughs, on the other hand, represented periods of relative stagnation, times when novelty waned and the pace of change slowed. But these periods weren't inherently negative. They were times of consolidation, of integration, of laying the groundwork for the next surge of novelty. Section 4, 2012. The Apex of Novelty. As McKenna followed the time wave's trajectory, he noticed something remarkable. The wave wasn't just randomly fluctuating, it was converging, heading towards a point of ultimate novelty. And that point, according to his calculations, was December 21st, 2012. This date sent chills down the spines of many. It coincided with the end of the Mayan calendar. Prophecies abounded. Was this the end of the world, a global awakening, or something else entirely? McKenna himself was cautious about making specific predictions. He didn't believe in doomsday scenarios. He saw 2012 as a transition point, a moment of singularity. What would emerge from this singularity, he argued, was anyone's guess. But one thing was certain in McKenna's view. The world would never be the same. The time wave was about to crest, and humanity was about to ride that wave into the unknown. Section 1, Riding the Wave, Navigating the Peaks and Troughs of Time. Imagine yourself as a surfer. You're not just riding any wave, you're riding the time wave. This wave isn't like the ocean's rhythmic pulse. It's unpredictable, chaotic even, but within the chaos there's a pattern. The peaks of the time wave are exhilarating. They lift you up, propel you forward at a dizzying pace. These are times of great change, of rapid progress, of mind-blowing discoveries. The world transforms before your eyes, but these peaks can also be overwhelming. It's hard to catch your breath. Then come the troughs. The wave subsides, things settle down, you find yourself in calmer waters. These are the times to reflect, to integrate, to build upon the innovations of the peak, but linger too long and you risk stagnation. The key is to ride the wave with awareness, to anticipate the peaks, to navigate the troughs, to find your balance amidst the constant flux. This, McKenna believed, was the challenge and the opportunity presented by the time wave. Section 2, The Compression of Time, a Symphony of Acceleration. One of the most mind-bending aspects of time wave zero is the concept of time compression. McKenna argued that as we approach the singularity, time itself seems to speed up. Think about it. The agricultural revolution took thousands of years, the industrial revolution a few centuries, the digital revolution just a few decades. Each leap forward happens faster than the last. It's like a symphony reaching its crescendo. The notes come faster, closer together. The tempo increases, the intensity builds. We're caught in this acceleration, swept along by the current of time. McKenna believed this acceleration was heading towards a point of infinite novelty, a point where change happens instantaneously, where the past, present and future converge. Whether this is a point to be feared or embraced is a question that continues to be debated. Section 3, Echoes of the Past, Whispers of the Future. Time Wave Zero isn't just about looking forward, it's about understanding the past in a new light. McKenna believed that history wasn't linear, it was cyclical. He saw echoes of past events resonating through time, influencing the present, shaping the future. The rise and fall of empires, the birth and death of ideas, the cycles of war and peace, all part of a grand, interconnected pattern. McKenna called these echoes resonance points, moments in time where the time wave's energy amplified certain events, making them more significant than others. These points, he argued, could provide clues to the future. By studying the patterns of the past, we might be able to discern the outlines of what's to come. This idea that the past holds the keys to the future is a recurring theme in many ancient traditions. Time Wave Zero offered a modern mathematical framework for this ancient wisdom. Section 4. The end of history or the beginning of something new. The year 2012 has been and gone. The world didn't end. We didn't achieve collective enlightenment, or at least not all of us. So, was McKenna wrong? Was Time Wave Zero just a psychedelic pipe dream? Not necessarily. McKenna himself acknowledged that the singularity wasn't a specific event. It was a process, a transition point. What lay beyond that point, he argued, was beyond our current comprehension. Perhaps the singularity wasn't a sudden rupture, but a gradual unfolding, a shift in consciousness so subtle that we're only now beginning to perceive it, or maybe it's something entirely different, something we haven't even imagined. The beauty of Time Wave Zero is that it's open to interpretation. It's a framework for understanding time, not a rigid prediction of the future. Whether we embrace it as prophecy or dismiss it as pseudoscience, it challenges us to think differently about our place in the grand scheme of things. December 21st, 2012. The date loomed large in the collective imagination. A date etched in stone by the ancient Mayans. A date that Terence McKenna's Time Wave Zero pointed to as a moment of profound change. But the day came and went, the sun rose and set, life went on, no cataclysmic events, no sudden enlightenment. For many, this was proof that Time Wave Zero was a bust, just another failed prophecy. But McKenna's followers weren't so quick to dismiss his theory. They argued that perhaps the change wasn't meant to be a grand spectacle. Maybe it was more subtle. A gradual shift in consciousness. A series of interconnected events that would unfold over time. They pointed to the rapid advancements in technology, the rise of social movements, the increasing interconnectedness of the world. Could these be the ripples of the time wave spreading out from the supposed singularity of 2012? The debate continues. Did McKenna get it wrong? Or are we still too close to the event to see the bigger picture? Only time will tell. Even McKenna's biggest critics had to admit the man had a knack for predicting the future. Okay, maybe not predicting in the Nostradamus sense, but he had an uncanny ability to see the trends, to connect the dots, to anticipate where humanity was headed. And nowhere was this more evident than in his vision of a digitally interconnected world. McKenna was talking about the transformative power of technology long before the internet became ubiquitous. He saw a future where information flowed freely, where people from all corners of the globe could connect and share ideas. He called it the global brain, a collective consciousness emerging from the interconnected minds of humanity. Sound familiar? McKenna didn't live to see the rise of social media, the explosion of smartphones, the Internet of Things, but his insights into the transformative power of technology were eerily prescient. He understood that technology wasn't just about gadgets, it was about connection, about amplifying our collective intelligence, about pushing the boundaries of what it means to be human. McKenna's vision of a global brain wasn't all rosy. He recognized that increased interconnectedness would bring its own set of challenges. He warned of the potential for echo chambers, for the spread of misinformation, for the erosion of privacy. And let's be honest, he wasn't wrong. The internet has connected us in unprecedented ways, but it's also divided us. It's amplified our differences. It's created new platforms for hate and intolerance. McKenna believed that the key to navigating this new world was consciousness. We needed to become more aware of our own biases, more critical of the information we consume, more compassionate towards those who hold different views. He saw the internet as a tool, a powerful tool that could be used for good or for evil. The choice, he argued, was ours. We could use it to build bridges or to erect walls, to spread love or to sow discord. The future, McKenna believed, was not predetermined. It was ours to create. Section 4. The Evolution of Consciousness. Are we on the verge of a breakthrough at the heart of Time Wave? Zero was a profound belief in the evolution of consciousness. McKenna argued that humanity wasn't static. We were on a journey towards greater awareness, greater understanding, greater connection with the cosmos. He believed that the singularity, the point of maximum novelty, wasn't just about technological advancement. It was about a fundamental shift in the way we perceive reality, a shift from a materialistic worldview to a more holistic, interconnected understanding of our place in the universe. This shift, McKenna argued, would be driven by a number of factors. The continued exploration of consciousness through psychedelics, the development of new technologies that enhance our cognitive abilities, and the growing awareness of our interconnectedness with all things. Whether or not McKenna's vision of a global consciousness awakening comes to pass remains to be seen. But one thing is certain: the questions he raised about the nature of reality, the future of humanity, and the evolution of consciousness continue to resonate today. His legacy is a reminder that the universe is a mysterious and wondrous place, and that we, as human beings, have the potential to unlock its secrets and shape our own destiny. Section 1. The Archaic Revival Tapping into Ancient Wisdom. McKenna believed that humanity stood at a crossroads. On one hand, we were hurtling towards a future dominated by technology, a future where the lines between human and machine blurred. But on the other hand, he saw a growing fascination with the past, a resurgence of interest in ancient wisdom traditions, in shamanic practices, in the interconnectedness of all things. He called this the Archaic Revival. McKenna didn't see this as a regression or a rejection of modernity. He saw it as a necessary counterbalance, a way to ground ourselves in something deeper, something more enduring, as we navigated the choppy waters of the 21st century. He believed that ancient cultures held valuable insights into the nature of consciousness, the rhythms of nature, and the interconnectedness of all things. Insights that we, in our modern hubris, had forgotten or dismissed. The Archaic Revival, he argued, was an opportunity to reclaim this lost wisdom, to integrate it with our modern understanding, and to create a future that was both technologically advanced and spiritually grounded. Section 2, Transhumanism and the Technological Singularity Transcending Our Biological Limits. McKenna was fascinated by the potential of technology to enhance human capabilities. He saw the rise of artificial intelligence, nanotechnology, and biotechnology not as a threat, but as the next stage of human evolution. He believed that we were on the verge of a technological singularity, a point where technological progress would accelerate beyond our ability to predict or control. A point where the lines between human and machine would blur and we would transcend our biological limitations. This idea, while exciting to some, filled others with dread. Would we become slaves to our own creations? Would we lose our humanity in our pursuit of technological transcendence? McKenna acknowledged these concerns but remained optimistic. He believed that the key was to approach these technologies with awareness, with a deep understanding of their potential impact on our minds, our bodies, and our societies. He saw the technological singularity not as an endpoint but as a transition, a doorway to a new era of human existence, where we would have the power to reshape ourselves and our world in unimaginable ways. Section 3, The Cosmic Dance, Finding Our Place in the Universe's Unfolding. McKenna's vision of the future wasn't limited to our planet or even our species. He saw humanity as part of a much larger cosmic dance, a vast and interconnected web of energy and consciousness that extended far beyond our limited understanding. He believed that the universe was in a constant state of becoming, evolving towards greater complexity, greater interconnectedness, greater consciousness, and he saw humanity as playing a crucial role in this unfolding. McKenna often spoke about the transcendental object at the end of time, a point of ultimate convergence, where all timelines, all possibilities, all realities would collapse into one. Whether this was a literal event or a metaphorical representation of our ultimate destiny is open to interpretation, but the core message was clear. We were not alone in the universe. We were part of something much grander than ourselves, and our actions, our choices, our very thoughts had the power to influence the cosmic dance. Section 4, A Legacy of Inquiry. McKenna's enduring impact on consciousness studies. Terence McKenna was a complex and controversial figure, a brilliant mind who wasn't afraid to speculate, to challenge conventional thinking, to push the boundaries of what was considered acceptable discourse. His theories, rooted in psychedelic experiences, ancient wisdom, and a deep fascination with the future, continue to be debated and discussed today. Was he a prophet, a madman, a visionary? Perhaps a bit of all three. But one thing is certain, McKenna's work has left an undeniable mark on the fields of consciousness studies, transhumanism, and psychedelic research. He inspired a generation to question reality, to explore the potential of their own minds, and to consider the possibility that we are on the verge of a profound evolutionary leap. His legacy is not one of dogma or definitive answers, but of inquiry, of exploration, of a relentless curiosity about the nature of reality and our place within it. And in that sense, his work remains as relevant and thought-provoking as ever. Section 1. A Legacy Etched in Time. Terence McKenna, the bard of the psychedelic, the weaver of intricate theories, left this earthly plane in 2000, yet his voice, resonating with audacious ideas and infectious enthusiasm, continues to echo through the halls of time. Time Wave Zero, his bold attempt to map the rhythm of the universe, remains a subject of fascination and debate. Was it a prophetic revelation or a mind-bending thought experiment fueled by psychedelic journeys? Perhaps it was a bit of both. McKenna, with his infectious curiosity, invited us to consider the universe as a place of infinite wonder, a realm where the boundaries of reality were fluid and the potential for human consciousness was boundless. He challenged us to question our assumptions, to explore the unexplored, and to embrace the mystery that lies at the heart of existence. In a world increasingly dominated by the tangible and the measurable, McKenna's legacy serves as a potent reminder that there are more things in heaven and earth than are dreamt of in our philosophies. Section 2. The Time Wave's Ripple. An invitation to explore. Time Wave Zero might not be a literal roadmap to the future, but it continues to spark our imaginations and ignite our sense of wonder. The year 2012 has passed and we are still here, grappling with the complexities of existence, navigating a world on the cusp of profound change. McKenna's legacy is not about predicting the future with pinpoint accuracy. It is about expanding our perception of what's possible. It is about recognizing the interconnectedness of all things, the ebb and flow of novelty and habit, the potential for human consciousness to evolve in ways we can barely fathom. He taught us that the universe is not a static, predictable machine, but a dynamic, evolving entity, a grand symphony of chaos and order. Time Wave Zero, with its peaks and valleys, its echoes of the past and whispers of the future, serves as an ongoing invitation to explore the uncharted territories of our minds and the cosmos. It reminds us that the journey is just as important as the destination, and that the greatest discoveries are often those we make within ourselves. So, let us continue to ride the wave of McKenna's ideas, to explore the uncharted waters of consciousness, and to embrace the mystery that lies at the heart of this strange and beautiful existence.